Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support. So today is the last play that I'm going to have with the Festive Splendour, which is the Hunkydory members free gift. You just have to sign up to be a member. It doesn't cost you a thing. You get the kit for free. You just pay for postage, or you can pay, I think it's $11.99 or $12.99 for a deluxe one, where you get a little book, inserts, loads of other stuff as well. So I've done previous videos with the other sheets, so I've come to the last one now, which is time to celebrate. And I'm going to do two sort of concept-y cards again with this today. So the second one I haven't made before, so we'll see how that goes. But this first one I have definitely done before, but not for a while. Okay, so as always, I'm starting with a piece of 6 by 12, and I'm going to score at 3 and at 6. So it's exactly the same scoring as if you were doing an easel card, because I'm doing a reverse easel card, so just something a little bit different, and it plays in quite well to the length on that topper. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way. Oops. Drop it on the floor. Let me just balance that a little better. There we go. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Okay, so let's have a look. I'll bring in my ruler. So the actual topper itself is 6 by 4. Okay. So I'm going to bring in a spare piece of card, and I think what I'll do is I'll just cut this to 6 by 4, and I will put layers on it, but and I am going to put some decorative papers on it, but that's going to be our piece that goes in the middle there. Right, so let's get ourselves some gold mirror, and so for the bottom it's going to be my usual, I know, a bit boring, 2 notches under 6, and then we want a piece, let's see how fat is that. That's not going to be big enough, so we want a piece that's going to be 2 notches under the 3. No, it's not going to be, let's do it that way, there's no way around it. So 2 notches under the 6, 2 notches under the 3, and then I do want a piece for that piece that I've just cut out. So I'm just going to bring in a little off cut. I'm just going to go 2 notches under 4 and 2 notches under 6, and then I'm going to bring in some of these beautiful papers, and let's have a little look and see which one we want to go behind. And I think probably this is from that design, or we could just go with the green. I'm going to go with that green because I quite like it. Okay, let's pop that back. And then for this one, of course, we're going to be 4 notches under the 4. And 4 notches under the 6, so hopefully that should fit on there quite nicely, and then that should fit into that panel quite nicely. Okay, perfect. So let's put that away, and then bring in the cardstock that goes with this one. So let's see, I think there's no getting away from using this bit on the bottom, because I just want to strip at the top, so we will use this big piece here. So 4 notches under the 6 all the way around. So this is for the base. Okay, and then let's have a look at this one. How wide is that? Way too thin. And then we have to decide whether we want these flowers, which I quite like. So we go 4 notches under the 3, and hopefully we should get 4 notches under the 6, and we do. So we've still got a decent piece of card there and that border. Okay. So before I do anything else, just in case I forget, let me bring these pieces back, and I'm going to bring in this little woodware punch, which takes the corners out, so it's going to sort of match our topper a little bit. It's not going to have the rounded top, but it will have these bits out. I'm just going to go ahead and do that on all of these layers. Let's just make sure we get it in there nice and straight. And you just have to make sure you do butt it right into that corner. And just go a little gentle on the paper. There we go. It just adds a little bit of a different dimension to things when you've got something else going on. Okay. So let's come to assembly. So I'm going to be using my Kalau all-purpose glue as usual. I have got some tacky glue that I'll be using as well. Just as always, you know, I'm going to say it with the Miri card, just be careful with this glue, the all-purpose glue, because if you get it on the Miri, it can take the shine off. In fact, what I found is when I did get it on the Miri, best thing to do is just to leave it. You will have a clear splodge on it, but it's gonna be less noticeable than it taking that shine off your foil. Okay, so these layers are just going in flat, and I have to say thank you. I did get a message on Facebook about the big bottle that I'm using for this, and I did get sent some information about getting a smaller bottle from AliExpress. As you know, I do buy from AliExpress quite a bit, so thank you so much for that. I have ordered some and I'm going to definitely give them a go. I haven't found it as hard as I thought it would do with this bigger bottle, I have to be honest. But if there is an easier way, if something's a bit easier on my hands, then you know, that's better for me really. I do struggle with my hands, just I can't do too much in one day with them. If I go outside and use the hedge trimmer on the front out there, I can't use my hands for the rest of the evening, sometimes not even the following day. They shake like crazy. If you're trying them, you have to really struggle to grip onto things. It's really quite weird, but yeah, so anything that makes my life easier, I'm always going to be very happy to hear about. Okay, so we're just popping these on, just making them nice and straight as I can anyway. And you notice I just put a little bit of tacky glue in the corners, just because I'm going to be sticking these on there, and I want there to be that little bit of support. Okay, so now we can come to this piece here. Again, I'll just put a bit of tacky glue as well. And we'll pop this on. And this panel, I've really only done it just for support, because it's just a little thicker than just having plain card. So I just, for some reason that's not lined up there. Let me just pop that back into, let me take that off a second. I'm just going to pop that back in and see. I think I just didn't quite take the end off it properly. Something better. Okay, so I'm happier with that. It's not perfect. And then this again, I'm going to come in with this Crafter's Companion sticky dot pen. Ooh, let's hold our breath. Okay, it's okay. Like I say, this is going to be behind, so it's not so big a deal anyway. Okay, and then this is going to go onto our front here. So I'm going to use a little bit of red liner tape. Just some scissors for missing. I've buried them. I was looking for ribbon earlier. And like, you know, just take a little bit more time on your layering. I am sort of speeding through just to get this little card done. I could take more time with it and be a bit more careful, especially on the layers on this bit. The other bit's alright, but this bit is a little more clunky than I would have liked, but I can live with it. Okay. And then this piece is going to pop at the top there. Okay, so it should still go into a 6x6 envelope. May have to just make it just a tad bigger, just because I've come over a little bit on this side. Sorry, excuse me. If you wanted to, you could put that right to the top and have that in a 6x6 envelope. I'm going to make a box for it anyway, so for my purposes it's not going to be a problem. Okay, so let's pop these toppers out. That one, I think I'm going to go with Time to Celebrate because it fits in with that drinking theme and it's going to make it a lovely stopper. Or we could go with Eat, Drink and Be Merry. I might have both actually. I might have this smaller one up at this top side. There we go. Let's pop that out. Okay, so let's pop all these layers out. Like I say, initially I did think that I wouldn't be using all of these layers. Maybe just using the two outside ones. Just grab my knife because that one's just been a little bit difficult. And you do have to just be a little bit careful with them. Some of the pips are more resistant than others, let's put it that way. I tend to find the ones in the books are the worst for holding on, you know, like more often than not I do have to release those with a knife. And obviously if you don't use the frame on the card, then just keep that for maybe a little book, or you might just want to use it on a card anyway. Okay, so I think we'll go, so I don't want this circle to come over the bottom of that because I want that to support my card really nicely. And I'm just going to grab some Crafter's Companion foam pads. I'm going to raise that up. And if you wanted to, you could put some acetate over this, come in, turn it into a shaker card. If you've got any like little stars, little snowflakes, little gold stars or snowflakes, they would be lovely as a shaker in here. Some little white beads maybe for the berries. Yeah, it could be really, really nice. I'm just going to cut that in half. Pop one at the top and one at the bottom, and then I think that will be good enough support for me.
And we're going through, so I feel quite proud of myself that I've used all of this kit. Well, I haven't technically used all of this kit, I'll be honest. I've still got papers, the inserts, some of the cards still need inserts in, and there's some little toppers as well, which I need to use, but it does feel good to have used the big sheets, you know, as quite a lot. Yeah, sort of, I know I said before, you know, like the storing of these things is, it gets crazy sometimes. Okay, let's go. So we've got snowflakes at the top and foliage at the bottom. So I'm just popping that over, down. Now I've got choices. I can go flat or I can go higher. I am putting it in a box, so we could go higher, or we could even have it at the same. Let's do it at the same height. I haven't done that for a very long time, so let's do that. So have any of you guys been crafting with this? I know a couple of you have said that you want to copy some of the things I've done, or you've been inspired by some of the things I've done with it, so that is really cool to hear. Thank you. But yeah, it's a lovely kit to work with, I'll be honest with you, you know, and it's been quite easy, and it's not always, I can't say this about every kit from every company either, you know. I look on Facebook, I look on YouTube or Pinterest, and you know, you look at the sort of card folds and things, and it's really easy to go, oh well, that would really work with this kit, that shape, you know, like it's really easy to apply it to what this kit will do for you. So, and I don't think that's just, you can't really say that about every product for every company, you know, like Crafter's Companion. Sometimes I struggle with arranging things, and I think partly that is because you get so much, you know. Sometimes the more you have, the harder it is to sit and figure it out. But I think these Hunkydory, they're so clever in that they always give you enough to do almost anything that you want to do. Let's pretend that's the right way around, otherwise we'll have an upside down time to celebrate. I will pop that across there, so that's going to be my stopper. And then where shall we put this one, because we decided we were going to use it, didn't we? I'm going to come right across there, and then we can find some nice little gems. So just going to pop one on there, and a little bit of glue on there. Awesome. Keep that to the side for another time. So let's have a little look. So gem wise, I probably would be tempted to go with green, but I don't think I've got any greens left. I think I used those the other day. So we could go with some gold, maybe some gold glittery ones. Let's have a little look. So we've got these ones that came to my hand straight away. It's just a little wonk, I think. Bear with me 2 seconds. That's better. Okay, so let's just pop that up. So what I'm going to do is, shall I come, we could go random, or we could do our usual. I think I'm going to do some randoms, because I don't do that very often either. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Let's grab my little tweezers and just going to pop some of these on. And these ones, these are the Hunkydory ones. I think Mum got them last year. It was a lot of Christmas ones, I think. I think that's how we ended up with them, or I ended up with them. But they are the glitter ones. It's alive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just need 2 more. So 1 there, and I quite like this. Is quite like they're quite like little bubbles. There we go. Alright, let's pop those back in the drawer. And then I'll turn that around to show you. So that is our first card today, that reverse easel. Like I say, I'm going to make a box for it, but it probably would go just about in a 6x6 card or slightly bigger, as long as it was on the chunkier side. Okay, so I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, and I think the name of this is something like a double flap fun fold card. And you know how I feel about anything that's called fun. Usually they're anything but I thought, hey, we'll give it a go. We'll see. I quite liked it. It's quite similar to another style of card, but I can't remember what that one's called. So anyway, so I'm starting off with a piece of card which is 10 by 5.5, and the cool thing about this is that if you use an A3 piece of card to cut your 6x6 card, this piece that's left over you can cut this card out of, so you've got 2 cards out of that one sheet. So I need to cut another piece of white card, and I'm changing the measurement to the one that I found online. And I'm going to do it at 4 by 8. Let's see, how wide is that? Oh, that's perfect. So just using all of my little scraps of card up, which makes me happy beyond belief, because I just have loads of it, especially white. And lately I've been saving them because a lot of the videos that I've seen online, when they do cut out sentiments, they've been cutting it multiple times so that it's really quite chunky, and I really like the look of it, especially on the video. So I've been saving them, but as yet I haven't done very much die cutting, so that's not great. But anywho, right, so from this big piece, the 5.5 by 10, we're going to score at 1.5, and we're going to score at 5 3/4 inch. Okay, so that folds over, that folds over again. So that's the start of the card, like I say. So it's going to end up being 4.25 by 5.5 when it's finished. And then this piece here it needs to be scored in half, so it's 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, and I will just trim that because it's just slightly longer on one side, and that will make a difference to how the card looks. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but in this case it will. So let me just take that in, and I'm just gonna, my knife down that channel is just getting a bit full up of bits of cards. So, okay. So just taking fly's eyelash off. Okay, so that fits nice and flush. Okay, and oh, I need that back. So we're going to do our layers. So I think I might try using some of these scraps up. So we are 1.5, so I'm sure that was 1.5 by 5.5. Yeah. So if I cut this at 2 notches under 1.5 and 2 notches under 5.5, we will see how that fits. Hopefully that should fit quite nicely, and it does. And then this piece is 4.25, should be by 5.5. So let's see, we've got another little piece here. So we go 2 notches under the 4.25, 2 notches under the 5.5. That's perfect for there. And then I need to do another piece the same for the inside, so let's go that way. So 2 notches under the 4.25, 2 notches under the 5.5. Okay, and then this one is 4 by 4, so we're going 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 4. And I'm going to want another piece of that because no, I won't actually, because I'll put the insert on the inside of there. Right, let's put these bits to the side. We will sort those out later. That is a piece I do not need. So that one, we've got that one, we've got that one, we've got that one. Okay, so let's turn to our cardstock. So I'm going to be using some of the papers again. I'm going to bring that in a second. So just want to decide. So I think on my piece on the front here, on that piece, I want it to be this cardstock. So I'm going to take a piece which is 4 notches under the 4 and 4 notches under the 4. And then that should go onto that piece of gold quite nicely. And onto there. Happy with that. I'm not going to see a lot of it because the topper will be on it, but I want that on there. Okay, actually if I put that that way, and then this piece here, let's turn that that way. Let me just remind myself where I was with that one. So we were 2 notches over the 4, so I need to take that to 4 inches, and then it's going to be 5.25, I believe. Let's have a little check. Yep. And then do I want that on the inside, or shall we do where is that little piece of? Maybe we should do this one on the inside just to mix it up a little bit, because they do all coordinate. So, or we could use the papers. Let's have a look at the papers. So there was that one that's quite similar, but that's a bit too similar. Let's flip them over. Now decisions, I think I'm going to go with this. I think it's going to give it a little bit of stability, and it's going to be different. Okay, so then that should be the same size as that one. Okay, and I think for now that is it. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one first of all, because the most important thing I need to do, I'm going to bring in this piece of ribbon, and the only ribbon I had in my stash that was quite close to these colours, and if I bring in the actual sort of matched it with this one, this little topper here. So you know, it's the closest I've got. So I want to put a little bit of red liner tape. Just with my scissors again. Come here. Here we go. So I'm just going to pop that around about halfway. Make sure I've got my ribbon shiny side up. And then what I'll do while I'm doing that, so I can hide these behind, I'll pop some all-purpose tacky glue in the corners. And over the top. And then we decided we were going to go this way. So we can match it up on the other side. So I will pop that onto there. So that's hiding my ribbon. And then I need to turn that over. And I'll find the end of my tape again. And sort of just put that on the mat, sort of lining up, using my mat to line up where that's going to go. And then I need to make sure that my satin side is outside out, because that's going to go around the back of my card and come around the front. So I can pop that onto there. And I've done them quite long, won't need them that long, but I'd rather trim them off than have them too short. Okay. Right, so let's move on with this. So let's start with the inside. And so far it's been quite fun. So and maybe it is correctly named. So, I don't know if it's like an American thing to call it a fun fold. I don't know where these names come from for these cards anyway. It's sort of they're all sort of made up names, aren't they, really? If you wanted to, of course you could emboss that, add glitters. I'm probably going to come back and add one of these little sentiments or something on here, so that it's not looking quite so boring. So pop that onto there. Not made easy by the fact we've got that green strip there, which is hiding my eye from the actual side of the card. Never mind. Looks nice in there anyway, so happy with that so far. Did I not cut a little piece? I didn't cut a piece to go on there, did I? Never mind, this will have a chance to set while I do that. Okay. So I'm just going to shifty that up, get that in the right place, and then come across a little bit more of tacky glue, and again putting that on the outside, although some of this does get hidden because that flap does come over, like so. Sure that's there. Okay, so let me just grab a piece of card, and I think I'm just going to go, yeah, we'll just go with that nice dotty. So I think that was 1.5 minus 2 notches. Yes, it was. So 1.5 minus 4 notches, so 1.25. And it was 5.5, wasn't it? So we need to take 4 notches off that. So that should fit on there quite nicely. Perfect. Okay. We're nearly here with this one, we're nearly done. So let's turn that over for a second while we put these bits on. More glue on there than I wanted, really. And I'm going to put a bit of tacky because our panel does stick to this, so we want to be able to put this on. Okay. I think this is probably one of the smallest cards I've done for a while. Like I do the 6x6 all the time, don't I really? Well, mind you, I did do those Crafter's Companion ones, wouldn't I? They were 6x4. Okay. So that's where we're at. So that looks pretty smart just as it is, doesn't it really? Okay. So we're going to stick this side onto here. So we have to make sure the ribbon's on the outside because that's going round. So really I only need tape on this bit here, and I am going to use some super sticky and a bit of tacky, and that should be plenty strong. And then we can work out where we're going to put our topper. So obviously the actual main topper is going to go on this one. Oh, and I haven't done the insert yet, so we'll have to do that as well. On there, like so. Just get that bit off. Where did I do? Where's that? I'm just going to turn that over and make sure that's not moved, and it hasn't, so that's perfect. How are you doing? Moved a little bit. Okay. Sticking to me today. Just put a bit of glue on that ribbon so that that stays put. And I'm just going to bring that over, and then I just want that to go around about centrally, around about there. Okay, so then this would come over and tie at this side, and that would be that. Right, let's get the topper. So we have this one here, so I thought it would be a perfect size for this smaller topper. Now it looks like it is going to be spot on. Okay, now we've got choices, so we've got the most wonderful time of the year, so I'm going to pop that out. And then we've got this one here as well, so in a little frame. And we've got a season's greeting, so let's pop all of these out. Let's see if I can pop them all on here. Okay, so the important one first of all, let's do the big one. Let's give it a nice bit of foam pads and get that up nice and high. Let's just grab some pads. Okay, so I've got these Crafter's Companion ones, probably about 5mm I think, quite chunky. So just getting rid of those pips, just standing out just a little bit. Okay, and these are quite big ones, so this must have been the new pack that I bought. Oh, they're nice. Okay. Nice and easy. So I'm going to bring that across like so, and then we've got one fit in there, not quite. Right, okay, so I think I'm going to pop that one flat. So the way under there, just right to the edge, so you will just see it and you will see all of it. I'm going to try and get it nice and straight. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so you can see your season's greetings. And then I think I'm going to pop this one flat on here. Should we put it in the frame? Still going to have to go flat, otherwise it's going to affect the folding of it. I think if I had put like a double score there, so there was just like 1 millimeter between them, so there was just like that little I'll show you, hang on, let me just pop that there. So I'll bring in my scoreboard, and if I brought in a little scrap card, so if when I had scored it, if I'd have scored it where it was supposed to be and then scored it the next one along, so that when it was done, I don't know if you can see that, you've actually got that sort of just that little lip there. It just would have given me an opportunity to raise this up by 1 millimeter. Do you see what I mean there? Hopefully, yeah, I think you can see that. But we haven't done that because that's not what was in the instructions or the demo that I watched today. So there is a lesson for next time. So I'm going to come in again just with my tacky glue, and I'm just going to pop that back in just so you've got something there when you open that one up. And then again, going to go flat with this one straight into there with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Into there, into there. Now we need to do this inset. We'll give it a go doing it on here. If not, I might have to just go and do it on my other one, my other trimmer. So let's just grab these inserts. Oh, look at this first one. Should we do the, yeah, we'll do the glass because it is the glass, isn't it? So we need to, we want it at, it needs to be 2 notches, maybe let's go for 3 3/4. Oh no, I don't trust this. It's trying to tear it. Let me grab my old, I'm going to apologise about the state of it because it is the oldest trimmer that I have, and I went for a stage of sticking things on it. So right, 3 3/4 and 3 3/4 twice is going to be 6 7.5. So let me just measure that. Grab my pencil. Where is our drink? I'm going to have to trim it again. But let's go, so we want to 7.5. So let's take it to there. And then I'm just going to come back, just take another smidge off, just where that other trimmer is feathered the paper. It just looks a bit scratchy. Okay, so like I said, apologies about that trimmer. It works fantastically. It's just that when I was doing my not diamond painting, my dotted designs, the actual stickers, they all come with that backing on that you see stuck to that trimmer, and I went through a stage where I would stick it on there so that I was gonna save it for something, you know, put on the card decoration, and it ended up getting stuck. Okay, so you saw there what I've done is just folded it in half. and I'm just going to pop a little bit of tacky glue on that edge, and I'm going to pop that straight in and down, and then hopefully when I open that up, put on there, give that a second, put it on the wrong side, I think that's what I did. There we go, so that opens up nicely. So let's bring this round. I'm going to pop this on there. I'm just going to pop a little bow, like so. Going to cut that down, and I don't like to cut it too short because I know other people in my family have struggled to tie bows. So I think, you know, everybody wants to have the opportunity to be able to tie that. But there you go, that's the second one. So obviously the person would just open that up. They're like, oh, it's from them, and oh, there you go. Oh, sorry, I'm doing that off the thing. So, you know, obviously they're gonna open up, read the message. Oh, there's more. We're keeping going. Oh, there's more. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite nice. It's a bit of a voyage on that one. So I do quite like that. Although, like I say, I would do that double score on that edge. I think would make this lie a little better. Okay, so I'm just going to tie that back up, ready for its photo in a bit. So that's it for today, and for this kit for me, actually. So I will put pictures up on my Facebook page and in the Hunkydory group. I think it's Friends of Hunkydory. I'll also put them up on Pinterest as well. And then next time, I'm not sure what I will come back with. I have got some Halloween things that hopefully I will be able to play with. If not, it's no big deal. We'll come back with Hunkydory. I've got some other bits and pieces here. Maybe the Poinsettia Sparkle, Frosty. I don't know. It'll be Christmas if it's Hunkydory anyway, because that's what I've got. But yeah, that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. I really do. I know I say it every week, but it's because it's true. And you know, every week I'm mind blown by the support you guys are giving me. And I really do appreciate it on a daily basis. So thank you so much for that. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.